Just wait for everything to get up and running, and I'm gonna start this lesson. It's a series. As soon as I'm assured that the stream is totally up, I'm gonna get started. But the title of the series is Biblical Masculinity, and this is part one. So it's just really gonna what I'm gonna really just be doing is just presenting um, the issues and stuff like that. And like I said, I've been talking about starting this series the past couple of weeks. I think, and this is something I taught on, this weekend at the men's conference. I would say that was kind of like an intro to all this. Um, but this is a comprehensive, straight down the middle, no cut on it. It's just pure message to the men and women too, because this message is going to serve as a model to identify, men who aren't masculine and need that work. And it's not for the women to preach and teach this and harp on their man about it, but like I said, I'll cover that in a later lesson, how the women need to deal with their man if he doesn't have these, as far as him developing in the area of masculinity or being a biblically masculine man, a biblical man. You know what I'm saying? Not a macho boy who's bossing people around, and not some pushover who lets everybody run over. You know what I'm saying? This is a balanced man, coming down the middle. And like I said, that's what this lesson is gonna be on. So with that said, let me pull. We're gonna get started with this series. I'm gonna pull up the video so I can. I pull it up on my phone so I can monitor any questions. I know it's early though. I doubt I'll get. I'm sure some of y'all are up, but I doubt there's gonna be a whole bunch of people viewing. It's just this is the time I get up in the morning. But like I said, I'm gonna be talking about biblical masculinity. So, and at the end of the day, what this whole thing is about is that family, because that's what's under attack. And what you're gonna find in this lesson is all right. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. So there we go. So what you're gonna find in this lesson is that you're gonna discover two things. Number one, ain't nothing new under the sun. Let me turn this down. Okay. So what you're gonna find in this series, it ain't nothing new under the sun, and this and number two, this thing is widespread. One example, one analogy I I put to describe the to the I guess the level that they are emasculating men, and like I said, another brother I seen the the spirit put this message on another brother's Richardson Kelly put it on his spirit, because I see he did a similar lesson, I guess, yesterday, that I'm gonna check out. But this is something, especially coming from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It was awesome up there, but it was also sad because I hung out downtown. Me and my wife went out to eat down there, and it was just sad, the condition of our men. Yeah, I've been down here in Jacksonville, kind of living off in a rural type area, and I mean, to see the condition of our men, it's great this truth is coming out, but man, Satan is ramping up the destruction of men and women and women. You know, I'm not going to be one side, but he is ramping it up because when I was in that area downtown, I'm going to be honest, like every single dude pretty much looked gay that we saw over there in that area. We look at some just blatantly, others you could just see it on them, you know. And then out where we were staying at, I think up in Buckhead somewhere or something like that, you know, 90% of the dudes look feminized. You know what I'm saying? You just discern it on them. And then every now and then you see a brother who, you know, he looked like just a straight up brother, whatever. And it's just sad. And what happens when that homosexuality runs rampant, whoredom runs rampant. The women, you know, it was like the booty is the new face. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of women just dressed like whores out there. I mean, I just put it like it is. You know, spandex, that's the new dress now. Just having your butt all up in folks' face, you know? And, you know, that's not modest dress, but that's what happens when, you know, the land falls to sodomy or whatever you want to call it. But with that said, I'm going to begin in, what I'm going to be hitting on in this today in this lesson is just some of the kind of less obvious signs that you're not a balanced biblical masculine man. A lot, and even this stuff that, you know, I'm still working on with myself. But I see, you know, a lot of people, it's hard. A lot of this stuff is hard to consider. Okay. A lot of this stuff is just, it's hard to look at yourself and just be honest. But when you do this work and you know, begin doing the work to turn yourself into a biblically masculine man, and everything else falls in line. Like, this is the core. This is the key thing. Because what does that verse say? Yeah, shalom, Deanna, sister Deanna, or Deanna, if I pronounced it wrong. But the thing is everything else falls in line when the man is being a man according to what the word says. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk about all the less obvious areas that people might be unaware of where they're not being biblically masculine men. Okay. One big area I always hear is people coming to this truth and folks is pumping out them verses, you know, and Sarah called Abraham Lord, you know, and these men are wanting these women to obey woman, and they trying to drill this truth and wear a skirt, do this, do that, be obedient, cook my dinner, and they trying to do all this. But like I said, that thing I call it, I say the man has to show the woman affection, direction, and correction. And a lot of these men go all the way to the extreme, all correction, but they're not showing the affection, the love, the understanding of how the woman's emotions work, what she's feeling, and they're not showing the direction, which is wise leadership, wise decision making. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes, and then they wonder why the woman's having a hard time following them. Okay, so and here's an example of that, like bad decision making. like a the dude will be like hold on one sec. Let me turn this up. Okay. All right, we're perfect. Okay. So wise decision making. Okay, making wise decisions. Like the dude can't figure out why the woman don't want to follow him, and the guy's like, all right, this is our investment plan. This is how we're going to invest. Okay, what we're going to do? I got $1,000 there in my account. We're gonna each week we're gonna put $200 in the lotto tickets, and that's how we're gonna invest our money. You know, and then so they're making dumb decisions and not thinking stuff out, and they can't figure out why the woman don't want to conform. One of the things I taught on this weekend is when that woman is getting the right affection, the right direction, which is, again, wisdom, wise leadership, wise decision making for the family and everybody. And she's getting the right correction in a balanced way. She can't even fight submitting to you. They just melt. But the issue is a lot of the men, like I said, they're one of two extremes. They're all correction, no affection, no direction, or they might be all direction, but they're not willing to correct that woman in her error, and they show the woman affection. Or with the bulk of men that I counsel, that I deal with, the bulk of the issues that are brought to me is the dude's all affection, and he's not putting out any direction or correction or anything. And that's how this society tries to train men up. A lot of dudes have the big thing is, and it's all through the word, is self-observation, looking at yourself, humble. That's why they push humility in the word. You have to look at yourself. It's the hardest look you'll take. A real man is willing to do that, is willing to look at himself and see where he's off at. That's the real work. That's the weighty matter that Jesus talked about. He called them whited sepulchres. They had all that word in them, those Pharisees. But inside, he said, you clean the outside of the cup, but the inside is a mess. So that's why I see a lot of dudes with feminine traits and hey, and they don't even realize that they walking around like that, looking gay, and they don't think anybody sees that. And it comes across obvious. Okay? And part of the reason is because nobody's teaching on this stuff. Nobody's teaching on, okay, I see that I might have those qualities. Now, what do I do to purge myself of them and get them out of me? Okay? Well, that's what this biblical masculinity series is about. What I'm doing with part one of this series, just painting a picture of these are signs that you are probably not masculine in a biblical stance, that you've been feminized or emasculated by this society, because the level of emasculation in this society is, you swim in it. That's how all-encompassing it is. It's everywhere. So, if somebody, most people need work. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, even me, I'm still working in certain areas, So I was studying some information, and they define a lot of qualities of masculinity that you don't see, that like what I'm saying is you don't see it in men nowadays, and that's being transparent, being straight up, open, honest with yourself and those around you. That's a very attractive quality when you meet women, you know, just being transparent and not secretive and manipulative. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how most dudes are, especially when it comes up to attractive women, stuff like that. Another one is just having emotional control, having that's a big one. That's Satan's main attack is what? Lust. I see a lot of dudes they're disempowered and they're not confident in themselves because they're overtaken with lust, pornography addiction. Everywhere you look, somebody got their butt hanging out. They got their breasts up in your face. They got, you drive past Victoria's Secret, because when I overcame my lust, my porn addiction, after I had overcome that, and because for a while I just separated myself from the world, from everything, from friends, turned the TV off, I stayed to myself, got myself straight and strengthened myself. And when I reinserted myself, then you see the lust that's pumped into your face everywhere, especially the TV. I don't watch TV. That junk is poison. You will not become a man if you continue watching TV. Oh, well, I'm gonna watch the football. You know, that's man. They running around in spandex, and now they got male cheerleaders out there that's more feminine than the women cheerleaders. Because if y'all didn't see that video, they had a video. I posted it. Y'all can check it. It's on Spiritual Combat on. Hey, shalom, bro. Shalom, Travis Stokes. If y'all look on my spiritual my Michael Israel profile page, I posted a video. They announced that they're gonna have male cheerleaders in the NFL. Brother, look, these owners hate you. They don't like our people, and now they putting male cheerleaders up there, gay cheerleaders, and it's like, dude, you can't see the writing on the wall. Check out. Go through the pain of getting yourself off that television. It's going to feminize you. I was talking about how, and it's going to just build lust in you. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about how after I overcame my porn and lust addiction, and I reinserted myself back into the world, you know, we were driving around and we drove past Victoria's Secret. They got a big billboard thing up on they painted the window or put a big sticker on the window. Some woman there with her butt hanging out and breasts all in your face with the Victoria's Secret stuff. It's on billboards. It's like you can't get away from it. If you go... you go to the restaurant, like I said, spandex is the new skirt. The new skirt is spandex. So it's everywhere. And a lot of men are not masculine. They're unsure of themselves because they hooked on that pornography and the lust that they've been snared with. They're as I said, they're one-handed internet bandits. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at the internet and they're only using one hand. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking. But it's tough. And the scary part, like I said, what I saw in Atlanta is like you're not just looking at regular porn on there. That's why you got all these homosexuals. Like I said, Atlanta was a freak show. And that homosexuality is destroying our men. They said, I think the HIV rates in Atlanta are just out of this world. And this is ugly too, is like the anal cancer among the homosexual community is out of this world. Anal cancer, period, is out of this world because what? That's sodomy. That's inordinate affection. That's it. I mean, they've proven it scientifically That is unhealthy. But all that to say, they're destroying us with that. And I've seen a video of a guy talking about HIV in Atlanta. A gay dude. He was like, whatever, man, they got a cure for it. It's no big deal now. Like, that's their mindset on it. But what's the whole catch on that? You become a slave because how much does that medicine cost you got to buy to stay alive? It's ugly, man. And the other thing is, the stuff I'm going to teach in this biblical masculinity series, you're going to see where a lot of people is frowned upon, and with a lot of people, when I'm counseling people, and because people don't want to hear this stuff till they're in a crisis situation. Like normally when I'm brought in or somebody stuff's put in front of me to deal with counseling wise, it's pretty critical. Like divorce is either on the table or in effect. And it's like I got some people I've been dealing with that, they're still in the furrow. I'm trying to avert that. And dealing with this stuff is not, what's the word? It's counterintuitive. Like the right thing to do isn't obvious. So, but the bulk of the programming is, it's coming from TV. So I'm gonna read over some of the notes I have here. I wrote here, the ultimate attack is on the black family. Okay, ultimately the attack is on the black family, and from the beginning of time, who did Satan go after first? He go after the woman. Okay, and how do I say that? They what they had to do is get the man out of the home through their policies. Let that woman raise the children. I just saw so that system always they want that child with that woman, and when a man doesn't have, or when a boy is being raised and he doesn't have a masculine role model and he desires that, when he doesn't have that masculine role model, he's going to do one or two things. He's either going to find one, in which, what do they pump to you on the TV? Hip hop, thug life, the streets. So he's either going to go in the streets and get that masculine role model, and that identity from the streets, or he's gonna emulate his mother, and that's these straight up gayfers you see walking around here. That's all, walk around like super gayfers. You know what I'm saying? So how do you fight that? I show men you gotta stay in that home. And I'm not saying stay and you have to stay in that home according to biblical terms. A lot of these women, and you got to take control of your home. And there's a lot of the things, I'm going to tell you the stuff that influences these women, okay, against you, to push you out, to rebel against you, to fight you is, number one, that television, okay? The media, to put it even more specific, because the media isn't just on TV anymore, it's on the internet too, but what she's watching, you gotta, according to the word, you gotta watch what these women are getting in their head. Otherwise, you're gonna lose your home. I got a verse to show you what I'm talking about just in brilliant detail. I'm going to pull it up. I read it this weekend when I was teaching. But you got to protect what that woman get in her head. What happened to Eve? Adam wasn't around, and he didn't protect what she got in her head. Think about it. Everything I'm saying, question everything I'm saying so you realize how true and significant what I'm saying is. Men, it says bind, in order to take over man's home, you must first bind the strong man. Okay? Well, our men are protecting, a lot of y'all married men are protecting your home. The doors are locked at night. The home is protected. Physically. Spiritually, it's nighttime and you got the door of your house wide open and there's a thief in your house messing up your family spiritually. I see it all the time. And y'all are not fighting. Y'all scared to argue with the woman. Y'all scared. And like I said, I'm going to educate you on exactly how to take back control of your house. But there's a thief. There's a spiritual thief in your house. And he's in there. And I'm putting it in raw terms because it has to be spoke this way. There's a thief in your house and they're raping your wife and your kids spiritually. And you're just sitting there in the corner like, and letting your house get taken over. All right? It says the Lord is a man of war. Why you think I call this thing spiritual combat? Why you think everything got a military bend to it? Hold on, let me look at my hat. Like this is the hat brother from Rhema Word, sponsor me with or whatever, provided. It's like, man, if it ain't military warfare, if it ain't reminding me that I'm in a war, I really don't want to wear it or deal with it. We got to fight and get our homes back, man. And those are the stories I get every time. There's a brother I was talking to in Carolina. His wife got this friend, and that friend undermined his marriage. And that marriage is teeter-tottering on divorce. And who's going to be? You're accounted for that woman's salvation. Like, that's going to be charged to you too. Because, and I'm going to have to do another show on that. But again, when spiritually our homes, the door's wide open, there's a spiritual thief in there and they're taking advantage of our family. We got to go to war. And I'm that dude. When it comes to this stuff right here, I'm that dude. Because the stakes is high. You got the TV in there and all this stuff influencing your family and friends and family. And when I say the stakes is high, we got kids involved now. You see what I'm saying? You got your wife's salvation involved. You got your kids' salvation involved. And we got to fight. Well, how do you fight? You don't go in there like macho boy. Give me this TV. Get off that. This, that, and the other. No, I'm in this. That's what I'm going to be teaching in this series. I'm going to teach in this series how you walk as a balanced, biblical, masculine man. Because reason I see a lot of brothers come in this truth. They see the spiritual thief in the house. Okay? And they pull out the gun to hit the spiritual thief. Well, he got your wife. The spiritual thief has your wife like this. You shoot your wife and the spiritual thief. No. So I'm going to show you how to subdue this spiritual thief, get him out of the house, and take your home back over. Lock the door of your house and secure your home and protect your home. So all these influences from family, from her friends, from TV, from the media, you keep that out and you maintain control of your home, and it's an ugly fight. But you're a man, and that's what we designed for. Like I said, the Lord is a man of war. Shalom, Brother Czar. Shalom, man. It's good fellowshipping with you this weekend. That's right, Watcher. The wake-up call, man. And, I'm telling you, man, what I saw up in Atlanta, when I was downtown, you know, it's a ugly situation up there, and I the Most High brought me up there. He blessed me with the opportunity to come up there and speak. He blessed me with some other opportunities, but I gotta look at stuff. He put it on my heart to say this. I gotta look at stuff for what it's worth. Us brothers were in there fellowshipping, building, but he's raising us up as an army because somebody got to reach these brothers, man. These brothers I saw in Atlantic Station walking around, some of the dudes just had their hair done up like women. It's like, you know, and what I'm saying, I'm not that, I don't want, you know, when I see people like that, I don't like seeing it, but I don't hate them. I don't want to punch them in the mouth or nothing. I feel sorry for them. I know what went into making them that way. I empathize with them. A lot of these brothers have been molested by weak men. And these aren't weak men. These are men who couldn't control their lust and molested them and turned them that way. And it's up to us. We need people to begin bringing this truth out, and we can't keep it among ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We got to, you know, slam into this thing with it. and like, you see, because it's like I'm overwhelmed with all the work there. And what it say? The workers are few, but the harvest is many. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of work and there's few workers. So, you know, so it's because what I was thinking of, I was like, I see it going on with the family. I see brothers struggling with their family. They talk to me. These Hebrew brothers too. They talk to me where they're like, yeah, but you know, she's not won all the way over yet. I promise I got like 4 situations right now. I got 2 or 3 that I'm getting ready, that I'm either counseling or I'm getting ready to give counsel. And I know it's widespread because it's hardest for the woman to come out of that thing when it's, especially if she was brought up in Christianity, it's real tough. But guess what? You a man. You tougher. You designed to battle. You gotta have that King David spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? All through that Bible, I don't care how the Greco-Roman Catholic interpretation of the Bible, I don't care how they interpret it, where like, oh, Jesus is coming to give, you know, faggots cupcakes when he comes back. Like, I don't care how they try to break it down. That's not what he's coming to do. All through that book is war. I'd imagine, I'm not going to, but it's pretty much every chapter, or not every chapter, every book there's war, it's a fight. It's always a fight. You got to learn to be comfortable with warfare. You know what I'm saying? Be a soldier, you know, be a warrior. And then, you know, and this is something else I'm going to hit on here. It's like, because I understand the women's frustration. And now I hear, like, there's brothers who know the Hebrew, and they're trying to break the word down with a feminized lean on it to where, oh, you know, they subtly not acknowledging the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is what? The fact that this, like, that feminized agenda, that agenda to emasculate the men and disempower the man is heavy. I see a lot of people harping on the fact that you got a lot of, like, there's Hebrew Israelite groups where the dudes is just hyper masculine. They're out of balance. Instead of being on the one end where they're soft pushovers, now they done went all the way to the other extreme where they're these hyper masculine abusive dudes. So a lot of dudes is teaching the doctrine to push you all the way back to the other and the feminized end. So it's like this, and ain't nothing happening. So no men are standing in the middle. And that's what I'm doing with this series, is showing men how to be men, when their wives need correction, what you need to do to begin getting this stuff that's poisoning their minds up out their life, so you could take your home back under control. And you're going to have to be comfortable with this. And you have to stand up and do it, because if you don't, the stakes are high. I'm talking about your kids, your marriage, your sanity, your spirit, whatever. The stakes is high. It's like, another big one you see is when the man is, another big fight is, if you let this society influence your woman, then, because this society seeks to turn the women into whores. So when the society influences the woman, then she turns her children. It's like, I go to drop my kids off over there at the elementary school. It's like, it's elementary school. Some of these girls is dressed like whores. They wearing, you think I'm playing, dude. They're wearing high heel shoes and makeup and spandex, dressed like little whores. And the silly women don't know no better. Not on my watch, dude. You know, I got a stack of hurt feeling reports that you could fill out here, because, you know, it's, at some point, you know, I'm just going to come down the middle, feelings going to get hurt. But it's a constant fight. And see, the women don't even, a lot of women don't even realize that they're deceived, because it wouldn't be called deception if they didn't, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? It's like that verse is so heavy, you must first bind the strong man. All right, I got off that, but let me show you that verse I was talking about. I'm going to pull it up here. All right, just give me a sec. All right, it says a couple verses just clearly backing up what I'm saying. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman. And it says, and desire her not for pleasure. That's Ecclesiasticus 25:21. And what it's saying is, don't just desire her for pleasure. Because you see, when dudes do that, they wind up in a painful situation. It says, listen, this the one that I was talking about that sums up everything I'm talking about. It says, unless, this is Ecclesiasticus 27:3. It says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his home shall soon be overthrown. If you don't, and like I said, I don't like to leave any meat on the bone. I like to make sure I say stuff as plain and simple as you can. What's the definition of diligent? In a way that shows care, conscientiousness in one's work or duties. This is a better one. Constant in effort to accomplish something. Attentive and persistent in doing anything. That's the definition of diligent. So that's why I'm saying this is a mindset. You got to be diligent about getting your home under control. You got to be diligent with it. Okay? This ain't something, okay, I'm doing, and then, you know, I'm going to keep it moving and stuff like that. You got to be diligent. It's warfare, man. Look, I'm going to tell you something about me. And like I said, this will be part of it too. You got two types of worship. You got this is just me. I'm not saying, oh, this is in the book, you got to do, but this is something I've experienced, and you can see it for yourself. There's two types of worship. There's masculine worship and there's feminine worship. The woman is to submit to the man. Okay? It says men love your wives. It says wives respect your husbands. Okay? The man is to lead that woman. Okay? So the worship you see in a lot of churches, because a lot of these churches are feminized, they're set up to target the women. That's why they got all the nice flowers and all the emotional stuff. That's why you see my ministry, it looked like you in basic training or something in the military, because this is primarily targeted at men. Okay? You don't see no flowers around me. Where you see camouflage, military fonts on all the stuff. I'm wearing a military hat, whatever. Listen to this. Now, this is real heavy. Like, the feminine worship is, and all the nice singing, emotional singing, and you're what? You're letting go. You're letting yourself go, okay? But the masculine worship is, like, the music I listen to is hard music. Like, I like listening to Beloved Dawood or Dawood. I love listening to the hard music, the buckle down, let's go music. If I could relate it to a secular song, it'd be like, Eye of the Tiger, dun, stuff that makes you buckle down and strengthen up for the fight. What would you listen to before you went into war? Would you listen to We Fall Down, but We Get Up? And you just sitting there? No. Before you go to war, you're going to be listening to, type this song in so you can see what I'm talking about. You listen to something like Annie Up from MOP. Type that in YouTube when this video's over. Like, you listen to something that's going to make you buckle down and gird up for war. That's where your worship music needs to be. Okay? Because you got a fight on your hand, and it's not something that you need to let go to and let Jesus know. He said he going to strengthen you, but there's work you got to do all through the book. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this is the intro, though, to biblical masculinity. This is part 1. All this stuff I talked about in here and a whole lot more I'm going to go into in detail. And I'm not just going to dwell. The small percentage of what I'm going to teach on is going to be the problem, or talk about is going to be the problem. The bulk of it is going to be plain, straight up, concrete, black and white solutions. It ain't going to be no gray stuff. It's going to be like, if you got this going on, you need to do that. If they doing this, you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be none of this gray area stuff, because the reason why I'm so big on things being black and white, 1 or 2, this or that, yes or no, is because when you're in warfare, literally, think about this. When you are in a battle situation and you're fighting out there, you don't need no gray areas. They call that the fog of war. You need concrete, clear information when you're in a war. So when you're in a situation with your wife, when you're in one of these situations where you fight for control, when you overcome with lust and you're wanting to look at porn and all that, you need clear, concise information. You don't need none of this gobbledygook they got out here. Okay? And that's what I'm going to come right down the middle with and provide, because the book say we are at war. Spiritual wickedness in high places. Y'all know the verse. So we need to, we got to get our minds right. We got to get ready. We got to fight. And when you go to war, the conditions, you got to get used to. The conditions ain't going to be right. The odds going to be stacked against you. You got to be comfortable with the uncomfortable and overcome it. On some Marine type stuff. Adapt overcome. You know, they be telling them all that stuff. You know, this ain't, you know, and let me tell you this also. When you've done this stuff, what's the payoff is realizing you done won the battle, and you know, the stress and the frustration in your life gets alleviated, and you walking according to the Most High's word. The curses aren't like the curses of the book aren't no gray, vague, like luck, fairy tale type stuff that's gray and ambiguity and all that stuff. The curses are just results from not doing what he said. The curses in the book are results you get from not doing what he said. Literally, that is that simple. You know, if you don't take control of your house, you're going to experience some curses, some frustration in life and stuff like that. So we breaking the curses here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I hope this was informative to y'all. This is part 1 of the series. Like I said, this is going to be a long series for the foreseeable future, because I'm going to go through in detail, go through all these different areas and give the best solutions. And I'm backing all that junk up biblically so you can't question it. I'm not saying you can't question it. You should question every single thing I'm saying and look it up. Because the more you question it, the more you're going to see it's the absolute truth. And you're going to see that you're swimming in a sea of deception out here in this world. But anyway, with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. You're watching Spiritual Combat. I'm Michael Israel. You know, check me out Facebook and YouTube. You could go to the Spiritual Combat page on YouTube, and you go to my, this video is going to be on my Michael Israel profile page on Facebook and on YouTube. On YouTube is Spiritual Combat. On Facebook is Michael Israel, and I have a Spiritual Combat page. So check all that out, friend me. If y'all have any questions, definitely hit me up. Just message me. A lot of times that's how I do, because I'll do a video on it, whatever your question is, you know what I'm saying? Or if you put a comment in there on Facebook. But anyway, with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate y'all watching because it's early in the morning, and shalom.